Welcome back everyone. Edyst in association with AngelHack is happy to bring you this new masterclass on how to design the Disney HotStar Catalog page in ReactJS. AngelHack, for those of you who don't know, is one of the world's leading organizers of hackathons, both in person as well as virtual, completely online competitions. Not only that, they help students take their winning ideas to the next level by giving them the right resources, the attention to detail, to turn these ideas into viable startups. Well, go check them out. They're a whole lot of fun. And now for the thing that you guys are all waiting for. What are we going to build? A fully responsive single page application that mimics the Disney HotStar Catalog page. And we'll do this using ReactJS. Excited? In this workshop, we'll see how to set up our IDE for React development. We'll get a quick tour of a React project. We'll see how to take this big complex design, break it down into small components, and we'll see why React is especially suited for building UIs like this. Not just this, guys, we'll take it to another level, and at the end of the workshop, we are going to deploy our application on the internet so that you can share it with friends, families, your teachers, whoever it is that you want to impress. At Edyst, we provide coding bootcamps for undergraduates who are preparing for a job. And if you want to become a web developer, go ahead, check out our course, the Edyst Webmaster Bootcamp. The link is in the description below. And you can sign up with the coupon code AngelHack to get a whooping discount on this heavily project-oriented, exercise-driven course. We end up building projects like this and this, LinkedIn Jobs, WhatsApp Web. These are all applications, these are all UI that we are going to build as part of this bootcamp. So go ahead, sign up for the bootcamp, check us out there. And by applying the coupon code AngelHack, you can get a whooping 60% off on the bootcamp. With that out of the way, let's get started.
I work as the regional manager for South Asia at AngelHack, and what we do at AngelHack is pretty, straightforward. We organize hackathons, which may sound like a cool job because it is. So yeah, we organize hackathons. We have tons of people participating in hackathons. I'm not sure, for those who don't know, AngelHack has a community of like 200,000 people spread it out in like more than 50 different countries, more than 100 different cities around the globe. And so there's basically two different things. One is our global hackathon series, where we organize hackathons in 50 different parts of the globe, in different regions, in different cities. We have local people, local participants participate in the hackathons organized around their region, around their place. They participate there. For whoever wins this global hackathon series gets to be a part of a accelerated demo day. Now, what happens is, once you work on a product, once you start a project, it's always, it's you always have this enthusiasm of converting this product or project into a startup or into a business that you can take it that you can take to some another level, and then maybe start earning from it, maybe make a living out of there, maybe create a business out of it. So that's what we do at Accelerator. Once you win, you get a chance to be a part of Accelerator that we run, which has been a lot of the startups that have been part of the Accelerator has raised funds, has had mentors like Guy Kawasaki, who is a dream mentor for me too. For those who don't know him, maybe try googling Guy Kawasaki, and he's closely worked with Steve Jobs and has really good lessons of how Steve Jobs has affected his career. So yeah. Anyways, with corporates, we partner with companies like Google, Amazon. So Google, Amazon, Facebook, we work with this kind of companies. We organize hackathons for them and with them. These are some of the other examples of companies we've worked with. So what you or what participants do is participate in these hackathons, win goodies and swags that you always want to. And yeah, that's it. So one of these hackathons that we are organizing right now, which could be of good interest to you, is a COVID gameathon. So what we have done with the US consulate of Hyderabad, and then there's two more organizers, Heart Hyderabad and then St. Francis College for Women. Together we have organized this hackathon where participants will develop games to fight COVID. So, you see there's lots of people, frontline workers, trying to find ways to either fight COVID, if not fight COVID, maybe decrease the negative effects that are happening due to COVID. So what we're doing is to enable, give you a platform which will be a 1 month long hackathon. There will be lots of speakers and lots of mentors who will be around to help you and to guide you and to teach you how to build games. And then out of this 1 month, whoever builds games and are a winner will be selected by the organizers and the partners to be supported full time or with tons of resources to create a fully fledged game out of a project and then launch it publicly. So it's going to be amazing. Whoever want to join, this is the URL that you can see. If possible, I also try to send the URL through the chat for you to be able to click and not go there right now, but after the webinar, because this is also important. And yeah, so last thing I want to talk about is the ambassador program. So we run a nice close knit community of AngelHack ambassadors who are like friends, family. We get together, and then there's tons of activities that we do together. And when I say community, it's in the phase where we are not just calling it a community, but we are actually building a community where you can talk with each other, interact with each other. There will be startups and businesses and other professionals that you can interact with, learn from them, work on real-time projects, and then have something to show, and then have a family that you can hang out and learn from each other. So that's the plan. That is the future plan. But right now we do already have a community. If you would like to join, there's a lots of perks. There's lots of activities that we do with the ambassadors. So these are the two links if you would like to join. And I'll also have these links, or maybe Harish probably is already pasting these links to the chat. If not, I'll do that. So feel free to join this, and like these happy people will try to have some fun. So that's me, and that's AngelHack.
This is what we're going to build, guys. We are going to build a responsive movie catalog. And for the purpose of this, Anik and I went back and forth saying, should we do Netflix? Should we do Amazon Prime? Then we said, hey, you know what? Let's do something different. Let's see what the Disney folks have been up to, and Disney plus Hotstar. And we thought we'd go ahead and build something like this. And trust me when I tell you, we're going to get really, really close to what this web page looks like. And we're going to do it using React, but nothing too fancy, nothing too complex. Okay, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to focus on having fun. Okay, this is a Tuesday evening for most of you in India, people in other time zones. Again, I'm glad that you're joining us from all around the world. But yeah, the idea is to sit back and, if you can, follow along to this. So I'm just going to see how to disable annotations.
You just need
There
to
you
go to
go.
security. Yeah, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
right.
You'll need to share it again though, for the previous one to go away.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Hopefully, you guys are not going to try unique ways to write stuff on here. All right. So this is what we're going to build, right? A responsive catalog. So not exactly this page, but even when you resize it, I'm going to make the application that we are going to build. It's going to work something similar to this. All right. So if you have just enough space for like two of these movie cards to be there, that's how it's going to be. On a tablet, this is how it would look, and on your desktop, this is how it would look. All right. So that's the plan for what we're about to build. Hope that's got you all excited. Quick takeaways just to set the agenda. We're going to learn how to set up our IDE for web development using React. We're going to take a quick tour of what a React project looks like. Okay, like the very basic React project. What does it look like? What are some things that you need to know before you can understand React code? Then we're going to do pretty much what I've done in all my webinars so far. We're going to look at the website that we're trying to build, and we're going to see how to break this down into smaller pieces. Okay, it seems like there's a lot of stuff on the screen. We need to get into the habit of breaking things down, saying, oh, okay, this is my header. The header will contain a list of links. It will contain a search bar. It will contain 2 buttons. Then I'm going to have a section. My section will have a grid of cards, and so on. Then we're going to go ahead with the actual business of implementing this. All right, we're going to make this make our application as close to what the Hotstar guys have made, and we're going to try and do it in an hour and a half. All right, it's a nice challenge for both you and me. Let's see how fast we can. And finally, whatever it is that we do, whatever React code or HTML code or CSS code that we write, we're going to build it and we're going to deploy it to a website. Okay. At the end of the day, if you're building a website, there's no fun if it's on your laptop. All right. You can't really share it with your friends. So with all the hard work that you guys put in during the session, after the session, once you see the recording and do it yourself, I want to leave you guys in a position so that you can share your work. Okay. And earlier it used to be pretty tricky how to deploy these static pages, but right now it's literally drag and drop. Okay, it can't get simpler than this. So we'll see how to do deployment and wrap up the session there. That's pretty much it. Breaking it down, we'll mock up the HTML quickly. We'll set up React, break pages into components, and I'll come back to this plan of action as and when we get to it. Here are a bunch of important links that I think you guys should, for those of you who want to see where it is that I'm getting some of my stuff from. I'm going to paste this on chat, so hopefully you guys can access it there. Oh, yeah, okay, there you go. So I've shared the most important links that I think you guys need on the chat. So if you're on a laptop, if you're on a desktop and you want to code along, keep these things open. The first link is to download our editor called Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is how it looks like. It's a beautiful it's a beautiful application. So let me just start off with a clean slate. All right, and there you go. Okay, so just give me a second, guys, while I set up my screen. Okay, so those are pretty much the links that I want you to go through. This link will show you how to download VS Code, which is the editor that I'm using. Some of you might be using Sublime. That's fine. There's a link to the page that we are building. So you go to hotstar.com. And again, hotstar.com has like a bunch of different types of cards. It does a lot of lazy loading and stuff. Different types of cards here. So just in the interest of keeping things simple, okay, something that we can build in the next hour and a half, go on to any one of these categories. All right. So if you're a sports nerd, you can go to cricket or something. For the purpose of this session, we'll be doing English movies, the English movies section on Disney HotStar. There are a couple of, I think, documents that you should have ready. Is the React documentation. All right. It's always good to keep the reference ready. And then this section on create React app. So just have the links open. I'll get to it when we need to go there. And finally, a couple of packages that I would like to show you, just to kind of demonstrate how easy it is to add icons to your project if you're using React. And the last thing is something called as React Dev Tools. All right. If this seems like a lot, don't worry. Like a lot of this is just setup. Okay, it's just stuff that you should download. You don't have to do it right away. If you have some of this already, good for you. But yeah, don't get overwhelmed. Okay, the one link that you need to pay attention to is the Hotstar link. Okay, I need you to look at the page so that you can understand what it is that we're trying to build. And with that, I think we can begin. If you're already in a terminal, just go into. I've created a folder called AngelHack session for the purpose of this session. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to set up a React project, okay, to begin with. And the way that you do it, I've already pasted the link for create a new React app, okay. Just follow the steps blindly for now, okay. Don't think about it too much. as long as you have this other piece of software called npm. Okay, that's one piece of software that you need, npm. As long as you have that, everything else, you can follow along, and you don't really need other pieces of software for this session. All right. So if you come to this page, the ReactJS docs, okay, they tell you that this is one way to create a React app. All right, npx create React app, and then you give it the name of the app that you want. Okay, so I would do something like npx create React app, and I would say Hotstar. All right, that's one way of creating a React app. There's this other way that I use, and you don't have to do it. It uses something called as Vite. Okay, so the links to what exactly you need to do are there on the doc here. So I'm just going to quickly paste the stuff that you need on chat. Okay, so once you paste that first line, okay, once you're basically saying that, hey, npm, make me a new React project. Okay, make me a new project using Vite. The standard way of doing this is using create React app. There's just another way of doing it. It's picking up traction. So just thought I'd show that to you. We'll select React when we get the options. So by the way, guys, you do this inside something called as a terminal. Okay. So either you use a standalone terminal, which you will get in Linux, or if you're using VS Code, then you can use the terminal inside of VS Code as well. Okay, you can use either of the terminals. That's fine. Now you'll see that once I ran that npx, the npm init Vite.js app, I have this folder called Hotstar. So let me go in there. And you'll see that I already have a few packages, a few files have already been created for me. Okay, if you use create React app, you'll see pretty much the same thing. Okay, a few of these packages, these files will already be set up for you. All right. So here you just need to do an npm install, so that some of the plugins or whatever it is that some of the packages that this React project needs will already be set up. And then you can start Visual Studio Code in that directory, okay, in the Hotstar directory. So up until now, what is it that we have done? We have hopefully installed a Visual Studio Code editor. We have a terminal ready. Inside that terminal, we made sure that we have this piece of software called as npm. Okay, that's the node package manager. That's all you pretty much need. So if you have that, you're set. You can just follow along the documentation of how to create a new React project. And then the way that you start this React project is by saying npm run dev. Okay, or in the case of create React app, it will be npm start. Okay, so just always, whenever in doubt, always go back to the documentation. Okay, trust me, even if you're a pretty senior developer, okay, you're going to keep referring to docs. That's fine. That's completely fine. You don't need to memorize any of these commands. It's always just a Google search away, right? But always have the documentation in hand, and with more experience, it becomes much faster to find what you're looking for. Okay. For instance, my primary experience is using Vue.js, so I don't have to look at the documentation as frequently over there. When it comes to React, I'm pretty experienced, but again, sometimes you have to keep going back to documentation. So I always keep those two links open. Okay, no matter what, much easier to kind of search through. All right. So now that we are done, we've also run our code. We've run our project, right? So if you're using the Vite approach, the Vite approach, you do npm run dev, and you'll see that it says that, hey, there's a dev server. It's running at, localhost 3000. So let's see what's running. So I go ahead and I click it, okay? And I see that this is what's up. So by default, I didn't write any code, okay? So this is all a little magical. It should seem a little magical to you. Like, when did this spinning React logo come from? Or, who made this count button? So turns out that whenever you start a new project using Create React App, or if you use Vite, they already set up a lot of files for you. All right, so you already have something like an index.html. Inside the source folder, you'll have an app.js, you'll have a main.js. So there's a lot of code that people have already written for you. Okay. And if you quickly come to this one file called app.jsx, okay, I know nothing will make sense to you right now, which is perfectly fine. Okay. But if you notice, we have this line called hello Vite plus React edit app.jsx. So we see that the thing that's rendering here, okay, what you see over here is kind of coming from this file, okay, called app.jsx. So suppose if I were to say, um, so if I say something like this, all right, if I just replace this one line, and I don't understand anything about what else is going on, okay, then do you see how it automatically refreshed to say hello AngelHack plus Edyst? I'll make this even cooler for you, okay? Much simpler to follow. So let's take this button, okay? It says count is 9, and you have code that, again, it looks like JavaScript, but it also looks like HTML. What's happening here, okay? And I'll get to that. Don't worry, don't rush it, okay? But the idea is just to kind of familiarize yourself with, just to play around with what the starting React project looks like. So instead of count, we could say something like likes. And if I save the file here, you notice that the text here updates. So the first level of understanding that we see is that all this setup that we have done, okay, create React app, then we did npm run dev, okay, that's doing a lot of stuff in the background, so that when we write code in these sort of files, if I write code like this, it's going to take this code and make this, right? So the code that I change here, immediately it's going to reflect on the right hand side, okay? It's going to reflect in the browser. So that's our first understanding. Even without understanding what React is doing, just by following along these few steps, I know that, hey, if I needed to, for instance, change this logo over here, okay, where do you think you would find something like that? So if you just go through the code, it's pretty straightforward, okay? They're doing something like import logo from logo SVG, and then they're trying to put the logo in this image tag, okay? That's what they're trying to do. So if I don't like that, and instead if I want the Disney HotStar image, I'm just going to copy the link to that image. And over here, I could just say, hey, you know what? Go ahead and fetch me the the logo for Disney HotStar. And because of the way that this logo is set up, it's going to rotate like an idiot. So I'm just going to remove the logo from there. Okay. So for those of you who are absolute beginners to React, okay, what is it that we want to do now? Okay, because you can't learn React in half an hour. Fine. But what should you do? Set up the project, install the dependencies, run the dev server. Okay, get to that point where you can see this page. Then go into these files that you already have created, right? So there's a source file called app.jsx, there's a main.jsx. Go into those files, okay, and start editing some stuff, okay, and see how it changes over here. Slowly, you're going to start to understand how it is that React works. It's pretty simple, and we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. All right. First of all, what I want to do is to not even use React to mock up my page. Okay, so I want to build this. I know this is what I want to build, but I don't really want to do that using React right away. Okay, what we'll start off by doing is we'll create most of this using HTML, and at a point we'll realize that it's going to get really cumbersome. It'll become really painful to build out the entire thing using just HTML and CSS. Okay, then we're going to see how to do this using React. Okay, we'll just quickly copy paste some stuff over from this HTML file to app.jsx. And then we'll see how React makes your life so much easier. Okay, why is it that you should use React? Why not just HTML, CSS? That's another key takeaway that I want you guys to have from this session. All right. So what I would do is go to index.html, which is there in the project root that you see over here. And what I think we should do is, I'm just going to comment out this div ID. All right, and the script. Hey guys, if you want to watch the full video, go sign up for the Edyst Webmaster Bootcamp. You'll get full access to the entire video, the code samples, and to our exclusive community of mentors, as well as other students on the bootcamp with whom you can share your doubts, you can discuss the bootcamp and a lot more in general. How do you do it? Let me show you. So go on to edyst.com, go to the courses, sign up for the Webmaster Bootcamp using either Google or Facebook. And once you're inside, click on the playground. That's your free module where you get access to a bunch of questions and all of the other stuff, all of the fun stuff. And under Webmaster Mini Projects, you'll find the entire video. So go ahead, check us out here, watch the entire video, share your code samples. You can chat with me on Edyst Chat and be happy to help you out with any questions you may have. Have a ton of fun building this. I know I did. See you in the Edyst Webmaster Bootcamp.